You've heard it right, the recent 6% real estate commission is gone. The recent NAR settlement makes it so that real estate commissions are more negotiable than ever. It's shaken up the real estate industry completely. Will buyer's agents exist? Will buyer's agents be like a flat fee service? What will seller's agents be? Will real estate agents even exist? I'm here to break it down for you. While the 6% may be fading, commissions aren't going anywhere. You gotta be prepared for a much more flexible system for both buyers and sellers, buyer's agents and seller's agents. Think of it like this. You might even pay more for a top tier listing agent or buyer's agent, or if you're in a hot market, you might pay much less. Yes, the shift puts the power back in your hands, but it makes real estate agents much more valuable than before, and it makes them much better at actually telling you what they do for you and doing more for you as well. And it seems like the lean and mean real estate teams are gonna take the lead, and the operations heavy real estate teams are gonna get caught up in the slog. Okay, how do we get here? The NAR lawsuit, the NAR settlement, is a $418 million settlement that NAR, National Association of Realtors, is coming to based on the 3 separate lawsuits against them. Two of the lawsuits are pretty similar based on transparency in the real estate agency, and the third is from Zillow. The main point of these lawsuits was saying that NAR wasn't enforcing a transparent real estate commission structure, and that was leading to maybe increased pricing or making it seem like commissions weren't negotiable, when technically they always have been. Real estate agents weren't doing a good enough job making it feel like they were. This has an impact on both sellers and buyers. Sellers will actually maybe have a decreased upfront commission cost. The average was previously around 6% what sellers would pay for both the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. They would pay 3% for the seller's agent, and they would pay 3% for the buyer's agent. That was the average. Part of the issue was real estate agents saying standard and making the 6% seem like it was standardized, like it was set in stone and it was forced on people when it wasn't. And that's going to be a big shift in language for a lot of real estate agents. Is they're going to need to say that this is what we do, this is what we offer, and it's completely negotiable. And for the seller, this could also mean higher commission costs, because there is a benefit to offering the buyer's agent a higher commission. I've already seen this now where some listing agents say, do you want to list at 6, 7, or 8%? And each of those come with different packages or different incentives for you to choose each of them. If you're offering 5% for any buyer's agent that brings a buyer to your home compared to another home's 3%, a buyer is going to work much harder to find a buyer for your home and sell that home and say great things about that home. And for buyers, this shakes up buyers' world more than it does the sellers, because what if there's no buyer's agent? What if the listing agent has to take over the job of representing the buyer and representing the seller? That's a possibility. Or it could just impact the negotiation completely. Because if an agent is representing both the seller and the buyer, then there isn't the possibility of the agent negotiating fully of both the seller and the buyer, because the agent knows both the buyer and the seller's information. How can they negotiate fully? It's like playing a game of chess against yourself. This settlement, the NAR settlement, is going to take years to actually shake out. You shook a snow globe, and now you gotta see where everything lands. You gotta find a real estate agent that keeps their eyes and ears open for what's happening in the real estate market and continues to adapt, continues to change, and develop the practices based on current standards and not live in the past. If you want that, come work with me and we can come to an agreement based on current standards, based on current practices in the real estate agency. We're not going to hold on to the past practices. And that might mean a decreased buyer's agent commission. I mean, that's probably what I would do if I was selling in this market. If that's of interest to you, if you want to work with me, my contact information is down below. My phone number and email is there. There is also a link to a form that you can fill out, and I'll get in touch with you. If this video was of any use to you, please hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.